Welcome to TradersPost office hours for May 20th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Hartman, marketing manager here at TradersPost, alongside Mike Christensen, co-founder and CSO, and John Wage, founder and CEO. We're always working to make TradersPost better day in and day out. Each week, we take a deep dive into all things TradersPost, answering your questions, gathering your feedback, and helping you get the most out of the best automated trading platform in the universe. We've also combed the social media platforms and posts about trading ideologies and ideas to provide our 2 cents for your edification and our amusement. So let's get right into it. Over the last week, guys, how have you been?
Doing really well.
John didn't like my echo, so he decided to leave.
Sorry, we closed the door.
The echo is fantastic, and obviously it's hard to beat. I mean, when you make a claim that loud and no one can back it up. So, yeah, it's been a good week. Exciting news around prop firm activity. We're adding a bunch of prop firms to the platform. We got Project X underway. We've got a lot of new improvements coming on the platform. A lot of new users are signing up. Growth seems to be enormous. So we're just excited across the board and happy to answer some new questions.
Yeah, that's one of the first things I wanted to talk about. If you guys wanted to give a little teaser, so many people have been asking about Project X. I mean, I went from not hearing about it to hearing about it every single day. Where are we in that integration, and what's been like the momentum behind the integration of it seems to be pretty significant.
We started the work last week, I think on Monday, and shooting to have it wrapped up by this weekend, and then we'll push everything live to production, and then kind of raise the curtain at some point a couple days after that. Once we've confirmed that everything's good, we've tested it all in production, populated our database with all the necessary data and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're really close.
Yeah, and I think if I recall correctly, with the existing prop firms we currently support, plus the new ones we'll support with Project X, I think we're going to be at 23 different prop firms that are supported on TradersPost after this goes live. We already support 12.
And I think that the list is probably much longer. I think we just don't know what all. Like I asked for a list of prop firms that Tradovate supports, but it's kind of like a chicken and egg scenario. It's like, well, you can find out what prop firm it is after they connect. But like, I want to make it more discoverable so that people can see that their prop firm is supported. So
it's a really good point. We don't know. Well, I guess there's a few resources out there we can look at, but we have a fairly exhaustive list of ones that we support today just because they've been connected by customers at TradersPost. And I haven't seen any beyond that list on other sites that show Tradovate as a platform that's supported.
Okay.
So it seems like we have the full list so far.
So maybe we do have them all. I just figured Tradovate would have had more than 24.
It's a fair point, yeah. But even like some of the sites that I've seen, I think it's a question of like popularity too. There might be other prop firms that are supported, but no one's really using them because they might be a little bit smaller or just not really well known yet, or they're still growing, things like that.
Right.
What's special about Project X? Like, why are people so eager for it? The support tickets are constantly coming every day.
Top Step, I think people like Top Step in general. Like, seems like they have the best reputation around payouts and like not cheating people and like honest marketing and just like all the things that makes you an honest company compared to some of the others that don't have a good reputation. So I think when they got into the prop firm as a service business, people I think started flocking over to them.
It's so fun. Mike, you were mentioning that you want to use this bridge in order to do something. Is there a reason why you couldn't connect these accounts beforehand? Like it only connects through Project X? Okay.
That's right. So right now, the way to get to the prop firms on TradersPost is through Tradovate. As long as the prop firm supports Tradovate, then it'll work on TradersPost. But a lot of these prop firms that Project X are supporting don't have a Tradovate integration. They're just on Project X. So once we onboard these other prop firms, I'll have support for my Project X account. And then there's one other. What was the other one I just opened? I can't remember. There's another prop firm that I opened an account with, and that'll also be supported through TradersPost.
Sure. Well, after today's interview that will
funding futures, that was the other one.
After today's interview that Mike did with John from Futures Farming, is that it?
Yeah, his handle is confusing because his name is different than the handle. We'll put him in the show notes, but yeah, we did interview him. Fantastic interview, a lot of fun. He actually was plowing 10 acres of cornfield the whole time we were on the call, which is fantastic and fun. Yeah, that's him right there on Twitter. And we kind of covered his whole journey as a prop firm trader, which has been incredible because he spent over $200,000 on prop firm fees, but has made almost $600,000 in the process. So talk about a payoff.
Yeah. So after that interview, it really made me feel like, okay, I'm like sleeping on this prop firm game, because after the Tyler, his story, and remind me, does Rebecca trades? Does she do prop firms at all?
Yeah, that's all she does.
Yeah. So it's like, John was just mentioning here the idea that these you want a prop firm that's gonna pay out, that's a reputation of paying out. But I guess I didn't really think that regular people were doing six figures on prop firms. Like I did not think that was the case. I thought it was
crazy.
a few thousand, 5 figures, and these people are like, no, full on healthy lifestyle, high value trader lifestyle on using prop firms. So I mean, what an industry, and the growth of it has been like Mike, you've been tracking, just absolutely astounding with TradersPost. Yeah. All right, so let us move forward. Oh, there's one thing I wanted to mention. There was an update, I think, John, you pushed out for adding support for Alpaca account number. Should we mention that?
Yeah, it's just a small change. So that Alpaca introduced like a human readable account number. And so they have like two account IDs. They have like the internal ID and then the public display ID. So we added support for that so that you can visually see which account it is, because it's the same ID that they show in the Alpaca user interface.
Got it. Okay. So that was already that's already been pushed out. All right, perfect. So let's move on to our first question of the week. This person asked, "Hi there. I would like to request the integration of TopStep." Well, this was going to lead into the TopStep thing. So just to mention, this person was asking for the integration with the that whole API thing. They were very enthusiastic about it. I just wanted to show this to show that yes, we do listen to people. Like we got. It came from support. People were asking for this, and we jumped right on the ball in order to integrate it because we do want to make TradersPost the best automated trading platform in the universe. It's not just an echo; it's a promise. Moving on to the next question here, Peter, if you'll just put the next one. Yeah, past this. The long question is about TopStep. All right. What settings do I need to change when I trade two different markets in two different time zones? There was no.
What that question means. Like,
yeah.
So this is a tough one because it depends on where you're referring to. Of course, you can change the time zone on your charts in TradingView, and there may be some confusion between the time zone in TradingView and the time zone you have set in your account on TradersPost. There's an account level time zone settings as well as a user time zone setting, right, John?
Yeah, it's like you have your account level, but it's basically the same thing practically because there's only one user inside of
one account, right?
But we need to understand what are they trying to change.
Yeah, I think this usually comes up when it comes to the time window functionality, in which case you want to be careful to choose the time zone specifically in the strategy settings or subscription settings for the time window that's relevant to the asset that you're trading. That'll help a lot. And you may have two different assets, like maybe you're trading gold and then maybe you're trading the stock indexes on a different time zone. One's Eastern, one's Central time. You could choose those time zones for your time window functionality. But yeah, we would need to elaborate on this question. There's a lot of scenarios this can be relevant to.
Well, what helped the user afterwards in the thread was we told them that our system doesn't rely on the time zone in order to execute real-time trades,
Okay.
and so that they could feel free to go ahead and add different trading windows if they wanted to, in order to adjust, where trades can be allowed, but that there was no other restrictions that they had to consider time zones for.
I see.
All right, next up. Can I trade shares on the Australian stock market? So I just want to bring this here. I know we've talked about this before.
Mhm.
I just want to get a sense here of, are we thinking about adding other stock markets to TradersPost?
It hasn't come up yet in the sense that we haven't connected with a broker that offers different venues just yet. Most of the venues supported by our broker integrations are the US stock exchanges. But if we find an integration that allows for foreign venues in an easy way, I think that would be something we would explore. Sure.
Yeah, just to also give some color to that, we go by, also one of the metrics is the volume of requests that we get for something.
Mhm.
Obviously, that might matter, and we don't. For those of you who are interested in foreign exchanges, or different exchanges, different countries, we don't get a huge amount of requests
Mhm.
for this sort of thing. So it might be something that you're really interested in. You want to trade the Nifty, you want to trade the ASX or what have you. It doesn't really come up that often. So I just wanted to mention that. It's not something we're just avoiding for avoidance sake. U.S.
And I
markets
think
obviously the most liquid.
the way I look at it too is like there's a lot of room to grow in the U.S. So I would say like before we kind of spread ourselves thin and like enter new markets, we would probably continue to like focus on growing in the existing one. But like Mike said, if we have a bunch of interest in a new market and there's a broker that we could integrate with where the cost is low and it's just like a no-brainer and we can instantly get a big influx of new customers, then yeah, I think in that case it would make sense.
Excellent. Next up, so for that, if you want to add more, if you want to send more questions, more requests in for other markets, we'll obviously take that into consideration. All right, next up. Hello, I have 2 Apex accounts connected with NinjaTrader, but when I connect on TradersPost, I only see a demo account, not the 2 Rithmic accounts I'm supposed to select.
Yeah, so you can see this when you connect with Apex or TopStep. When you go through the checkout process with these prop firms, there's a choice for which platform you can choose. There are Rithmic accounts, there are Tradovate accounts. The only one that's going to work with TradersPost at the moment is the Tradovate accounts, not the Rithmic accounts. We are considering Rithmic as a broker-supported venue in the future, but it's not available at the moment.
Excellent. I wasn't sure. I've never used the Rithmic account before. Is it something special about
It's
them?
just a different broker that we just haven't integrated with. I think CQG is also another futures broker that we were considering as well. That's kind of in the same boat. There's some props out there that use CQG.
Oh, I wanted to ask before for the Project X, are they going to have the bracket orders available?
They don't have it.
Bummer, no.
They have it. They have it like built in. It's really weird the way they have it implemented. Is like you can enter an account level, take profit and stop loss, but it doesn't show up in your order history until it triggers. So it's like they have some like back end account level monitoring that monitors all your positions and applies that take profit and stop loss percentage or values to all your positions. And then as soon as your position breaches one of those levels, it then creates an order dynamically, but you don't like see it in your order history ahead of time as like an open order. So it supports it in a weird way, but like you can't via the way people would expect via TradersPost to like submit an entry order for a specific symbol with a specific take profit and stop loss. And then you could have one position with one take profit and stop loss amount, and then a different position, a different symbol with a completely different take profit or stop loss amount.
Cool.
So those features are disabled for Project X.
Understood. Next up. Recently, my account connected to E-Trade was disabled due to token expiration. I contacted E-Trade to find out whether they issued the token or whether you did. They couldn't locate any security tokens for my account and suggested I ask you the same. I'd appreciate any guidance you have. I received no notification that the connection was shut down until I checked the account myself. I deleted the connection, reestablished everything, and it worked. Fine at the open today. What is the token's lifespan, and how can I avoid future expirations?
So in our documentation on the E-Trade page, underneath the brokers section, there's a section that talks about this. E-Trade tokens last for 15 days, and they don't give us any way to automatically renew them like other brokers. So as soon as it expires, you have to go in and manually reconnect it within TradersPost. We probably should have a feature that detects when it expires and sends you an email notification. But today it doesn't do it because frankly, most brokers, I don't know why E-Trade builds it that way. Like, an API is supposed to be for automated trading. So to have to do something manually every 15 days is kind of counterintuitive.
Right. Makes sense. Okay. Again, with connection issues here, I'm having ongoing issues with Coinbase disconnecting my TradersPost account. Peter, you have the question there. I can reconnect it, but every 12 to 24 hours, I see a 401 unauthorized error. I must reauthorize in Coinbase. Is there any way to stop these repeat app approval prompts?
So I think we had this exact question last week as well. It sounds like it's happening to more than one user, but essentially, if you have more than one app approval entry inside Coinbase in your settings, they will conflict with each other. You'll want to delete all those entries on Coinbase and then go back to TradersPost and reauthorize. And then as long as you have one app approval on Coinbase, it should solve the problem. Tom, are you able to show it here on the screen?
Let me see if I can.
Sure.
There's no way for us to detect if this is happening?
I don't think so, no. There's no way for us to detect if they have more than one app approval, in other words.
Okay.
Of course, Coinbase is struggling.
Yeah, unfortunately, let me see here.
It's just taking a second to log in.
No, I can't log in right now. All right, I'll just leave that be.
Well, we'll update our documentation to show what this page looks like and where there might be more than one app approval. But essentially, the two people we've spoken to at this point that we had stepped through this process of removing the additional app approvals and just having one in their account, it has resolved the issue. So it looks like.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna say I'm not convinced that. I think that there's some problem in Coinbase. Like, that wouldn't make sense that they have to do that. I think when customers have this problem, we need to have them continue to reach out to Coinbase's support to try to figure out why those are disconnecting. Because I looked in my Coinbase account and I have multiple.
Mm-hmm.
But my Coinbase account I've had it connected for over a year and it's never disconnected. So I feel like there's something else going on here.
Okay.
Do you guys know where to go here? I'm inside my Coinbase account. I'm just trying to see where where that setting is.
I think you would have a section on
API.
Mm-hmm. And there should be.
I don't think it's going to be
the OAuth tag there, tab, and then this is. Oh, so it's not.
Yeah,
not
show
yet.
it.
Oh, go ahead and show it. Okay. And maybe, John, are you able to show your account maybe?
Let me see. Let me log in.
Okay.
Well, we won't be able to show John's desktop right now because we didn't set that up before, right, Peter? Okay.
Click on OAuth there. Go back to API keys. No, this isn't right. Well, instead of fumbling around here, we'll create some screenshots of this and update our documentation. But to John's point, it could be something else. So we will continue to investigate to figure out what the issue is there. I think it's only happened to 2 customers at this point, though.
Okay. All right. Question mark. It looks like there's a delay in executing the trade. It shows profit in TradingView, but a loss here on the 1 minute time frame. I just want to make the mention over here that it's because the user found out that it's because they were on the 1 minute time frame that it looked all nice and profitable on the immediate execution inside of the TradingView platform, but not so later on when they were checking what actually happened live. So just to reiterate that again, because it comes up every now and then.
Sure.
Next up. The next question here, I want to make sure that while I'm in a trade, no other trade, long or short, will be executed until I close my current trade. This has come up one time before, but I believe we stated that you have to prevent that on the signal side, and that we can't prevent that inside of the backend. We could, on TradersPost side, you can prevent it from doing a trade on the other side, from side swapping or executing a trade in another direction, but you can't prevent another long trade, can you? Oh, wait, if you have active positions set to none, you can have one.
Yeah, but if it's a different ticker, it would open up a new position. But if you in the broker account in TradersPost, there's a max strategy position setting where you could set that to 1. But again, we've talked about this before. There's a race condition issue where, like, if you send 2 trades at the exact same time, when they both execute, they're both going to see that the number of positions in the broker is 0, and they're going to think, oh, I can go ahead because the limit is 1, and it will execute both trades, and now you have 2 positions. So it's okay as long as the signals are happening apart from each other.
Cool. All right. Next question. If I already have a webhook for my TradeStation futures account and now want to use my options account, do I need a new webhook or can I keep the same one?
You would need separate strategies.
Right. So
separate strategies.
Just to remind people, with the way that TradersPost is working now, one strategy is equal to one webhook. Right. I know previously we had multiple different webhooks, but now the idea is that one webhook, one strategy.
Yeah.
All right. And lastly, where do I approve the trade for signal verification? Does this happen in email, an app? Like how does this work? If I want to approve a trade that's not on auto submit.
Well, that should show up in your notifications first, and then once you click the trade that comes through, it'll show a trade panel explaining the incoming signal and what you can do with it. And in the top right hand corner, there should be an approve or reject button. So you can do it through the notifications tab. You should have incoming notifications there, or you can go to the strategy itself, click on signals, find the trade, and then approve or reject it from there.
And if you get an email, if you have email notifications turned on, the email will have a link called review trade. And that takes you straight to the page with the approve or reject button at the top right that Mike mentioned.
Excellent. Perfect. Well, we're going to head off to our Reddit corner. But before that, a little word from our sponsors.
Ask yourself this. Are you making trading harder than it needs to be? If you're trading manually or still coding just to connect to your broker, yeah, it's time to upgrade. TradersPost lets you automate trades using signals from tools like TradingView or TrendSpider or even your own custom setup. It works with brokers like TradeStation, Tradovate, Coinbase, and a bunch more. I've been using it myself, and getting started was smooth. The platform's clean, setup's quick, and once it's running, it just works. And when you're ready to scale, adding more strategies, plugging into prop firm accounts, or juggling multiple portfolios, TradersPost handles it. It's built to grow with you. Start your free trial at TradersPost.io. Trade smarter, automate your edge.
I just realized the mid-roll has the old colors. We've got to change that green. I got to get that back to blue. So as we mentioned before, we want TradersPost to be the best automated trading platform in the universe.
You're getting too good at that now, Tom.
I want it on permanently. I don't even know why my normal voice sounds terrible to me. But part of that is also like we want to see people become better traders. Mike is doing the Trading Bot Sessions interviews because he wants people to understand, hey, what are some of the lessons that people have learned in order to become successful? Because if you're successful, we all become successful as well. To that end, I just wanted to go over this one Reddit post where it really gives a glimmer to my heart, because we are in an age of AI development, vibe coding, all this sort of thing that has seemed to open up the world of the interest into automated trading in a way that is different than it used to be. Before your automated trading, the idea is that you had your set signals on your indicator, so whatever it is, you're setting the signals in, and it's executing the trade. But now, more and more now, people are realizing with these AI bots, they're able to integrate information from elsewhere, social information, sentiment information, discretionary information. They could program an AI system that sort of like understands who they are and what things they would find interesting or what have you, and then execute trades in that way. And so this on Reddit, this guy was posting a few hours ago a fun little hobby project. And he says, so I had the idea of starting to use AI to build me a trading bot. Had done some programming many years ago and figured it might be interesting to see what AI could do, while maybe being able to start picking up learning how to code again. Already, I love the feel of that. There's like, hey, I want to get my feet wet again with the coding. It's been a nightmare of ups and downs. Understandably, I've been there. One step forward, 5 steps back type of deal. Finally got everything set up correctly and actually running correctly. Easier said than done. ChatGPT has an issue with keeping track of code, but still need to get my news sentiment locked down at some point. But the learning bot is finally acting like how it should be. Really loving, hating this little project, and looking forward to the final product. Everything about that post to me is everything that I love. Just banging your head against an end goal that you have in order to set up an automated trading system, using a new tool in order to try to develop that, and not stopping until you get to an end that's useful to you. And the comments obviously are what you might expect. Hey, you want to consider some different things, and how are you doing this? Are you using historical data? That sort of thing, just back and forth.
Mhm.
And the person completely acknowledging that there's all kinds of shortcomings and issues that they have with the system, but that they got it up and running. And so what I want to see, guys, and this is something I would really love to push more of, and I've been trying to do on Blueprint, is more of these interesting strategy setups where it feels almost like AI discretionary, right? Where it's not following just a series of system. Hey, this is a candle pattern that I'm looking for, but it's following more than that. More of these data that you can plug and play. So my question is twofold. One, are you guys interested? Are you yourselves interested or playing with this idea of setting up automated strategies in non-standard ways? Or have you seen anything in the wild that makes you go, hey, this piece of information, if I were to connect it to my strategy, might make my strategy more profitable or more interesting, or blah, blah, blah?
On the first one, no, but I am interested in it. I think more AI assisted trading is very fascinating to me. And I definitely want to put together something that's working there, particularly if it is actually evaluating the charts in real time. I like this idea of visual guidance through AI, where I'm feeding it an ongoing series of images to get confirmation of where the trend is really going, and sort of coupling the underlying quantitative data with a qualitative, more subjective review of what the charts are actually saying as well. And I find that idea fascinating, but standing that up is going to take some work. It's going to require some APIs, I'll actually have to make the charts with live data. There's a lot of stuff I have to do in order to make that work. But the concept is really cool in my mind, and it's worth testing. On the second side, and maybe I missed the main point of your second question. Can you say the second one again?
Have you seen anything out in the wild that's been like, hey, if I could integrate this type of data, this type of information or whatever into the strategy that I'm doing already, maybe it actually might make my trading better?
Yeah, sure. If I could get the inside reporting of what's happening with each company that's publicly traded on a day-to-day basis, that would improve my trading significantly.
Well, here's the thing. So today in your interview with John, which is small spoiler, but I thought it was fantastic. He says he can't he's not going to automate his trading, that it's all discretionary. It's all
Well, that's not
vibes
true.
trading.
He does have another indicator and strategy he's stood up with another group that he's following, the Icarus trading group.
Fair. That's right. That's
and
right.
he is testing that out. But his approach is intuition based. He prefers to trade on intuition, and he doesn't know that there's a way to really automate that.
So I don't believe that intuition trading can't be automated.
I
think
agree with
this,
you.
Yeah, I think there's just too many variables that you're not immediately seeing that how you would actually automate that. Now, instead of dissecting it all and figuring out these are the 19 things I'm actually weighing in order to figure it out, I am very much in the camp now of having my AI system pay attention to me as I am trading, and it trying to simulate what I would do in a discretionary fashion. And then as it's making those different decisions, logging the success and failure of it, comparing that with when I'm trading myself, and then eventually get to a system that actually works properly. Because there's this thing I've been in vibe coding, I've been trying to wrap my head around, and John and Michael laugh at this because anyone who designs systems, you're like, this is how you're supposed to be doing it. But I was making a mistake of using AI for development or trading directly. Like, let the AI decide if this is bullish or bearish. Let the AI decide how to tackle a thing, like wholly all the way through, which is sort of silly because it's non-deterministic. And it's non-deterministic, and you end up in a situation where, like, who cares if it did it well? It can't repeat the same thing again. It won't even know why it did the same thing, the same action again. But if you create components like that are modules that are themselves deterministic, and the AI is just triggering this pattern, like triggering that script at the right time. I might have a script that says, I might have a script that's looking for a specific candle pattern, and another one is looking for a specific momentum, and another script that's looking for RSI overbought or what have you, and it has those trade setups accordingly. And the AI is monitoring me to see, what am I paying attention to on my charts? How long did I pay attention to this chart? How did I feel because of my Garmin watch at the time I was watching it? And depending on what that is, then execute the trade signal for that particular set. So it's like looking over my shoulder to try to decide which one of my behaviors it should trigger at any given time. But that behavior has been mapped out. This to me has been, just programming wise, super useful, because I can actually, on fresh AI instances, just re-trigger the event, and the execution happens the same way every single time. And more now I'm seeing AI projects online for trading that are attempting this, that there's part of it that's deterministic and part of it that's the AI being creative and making decisions on its own. Anyway, so that's why I'm going to bring that up, because it's a whole new type of way of going about it that in a year from now, we're going to find those stories of people who stood up a bot, and the personality component of how to decide things, that's what they'll be subscribing to, not the indicator. You know what I mean? Like the personality of how it considers those indicators, and then it executes the trades.
They're like, I want a trading bot that has rent due and is 6 months behind in rent and is $20,000 in debt. And I want him to just YOLO the hell out of everything.
Exactly. Anyways,
that's my quant, by the way.
Right. Well, it's stuff like grabbing a YouTube transcript. We did this in one of the blueprints. Grab a YouTube transcript and then have the AI try to figure out what's the best fitting strategy for this, for what's been described here. Here's a couple of screenshots from the video. Here's the transcript. And then you have a bot that's trading like what that AI thinks that person's doing, right? You don't have the specific rules, but it has a general idea. And I just love the idea of having multiple ones like that, and that they're sort of competing each other in order to get better outcomes. But I'm Pollyanna when it comes to this.
Have you heard about, like, Apple's developing, or they've got multiple R&D projects, but they have some R&D project right now where they have a device that's like kind of like Neuralink, but it's not implanted, and it basically can read signals from your brain, and then it connects to your iPhone. But it would be cool in the future maybe to have like a discretionary trading system that's like no hands free, and like you just have to think it and it happens.
I saw someone use an Arduino made toy and they were using it. They were doing it specifically to approve changes that Cursor is doing. You know, you're in Cursor, it's making a change, and you have to constantly click up, accept, and move forward. So they wanted to avoid that. So they put this Arduino set on, and then all of a sudden, if they thought approve, it would approve it. But I want that for trading. That I'm looking at a chart, and when I think, this set of brainwaves, these set of brainwaves matches a buy signal. So I can just watch the chart, and then it's doing it. Guys,
That would
it's a
be
brave
cool.
new world here. Yeah, I want to do it. You guys are going to turn on Blueprint one day, and you're going to see me with a headset on, and you're like, what on earth is he doing? And my 19 different prop firm accounts will be up 2,000%. You guys are going to love it.
Look, there's no right or wrong way to trade markets. If you're profitable doing this, I will give you all the support in the world. You do you.
Hey, what if I'm not profitable and still it's cool? Okay, at least I show you a way not to do it.
Well, at some point, you're not just paying tuition to the markets anymore. You're just throwing money away.
Okay, now you sound like my wife. Don't say that. All right, guys. That'll be it for the Reddit corner for this week. There's all kinds of other things that are out there, but nothing to me catches my fancy just as much as AI trading. So we'll leave it at that. If you guys have any questions or feedback or feature requests that you want to send in, please do so by messaging us, tagging us on X, by putting a comment in the YouTube videos, which I'm glad more and more people are doing now. They're like asking for help and support and how can you do this inside the YouTube comments. Love doing that.
Mhm.
Or on Discord, or send us an email support. We want to make TradersPost amazing, and with your help, we're doing that. Until next week, where we'll be back here at Tuesday at 3 p.m. for more office hours, we wish you a happy trading. Thank you, guys.
Cheers,
You
everyone.
guys.